My name is Reg Cox, and I work with the Lakewood Faith Coalition, lead an organization called Lakewood Connects. Lakewood Connects very simply establishes partnerships between key service stakeholders in our community. So schools, human services, mayor's office in the city of Lakewood, churches, nonprofits, neighborhood associations. So we establish bridges of partnership between those different entities so we can work together on solving problems of our society together.
I'm Amy Weeb with Fringe Church. Fringe Church is a church plant here in the Jefferson County area. We're based in Lakewood, but we serve Arvada and Golden and Wheat Ridge areas because we're kind of right in the middle. We're non-denominational church. We're really trying to be a community of people that are living life together, not just seeing each other once a week. And in our community, when we want to be out in the community, serving and loving others intentionally that way as well. And so that's really why we're out in the community and why it's so important for us to be partnered with JPP and Head Start.
My name is Ann Jeffries. I belong to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, otherwise known as the Mormons. One of the basic tenets is that we believe in patterning our life after Jesus Christ. And so we're encouraged to be as much like him as we can. None of us are perfect, but we try to emulate him. We have a scripture that we use as a base a lot, is that when you're in service of your fellow man, you're in the service of your God. And so when we are serving others, we are doing as Jesus would do. And so that motivates us.
My name's Danielle Reeves, and I'm from Waterstone Community Church. Waterstone Community Church has been around for about 33 years. It started out as a reclamation project and church plant from Bear Valley Church. Nick Lillo is our lead pastor and has been here the entire 33 years. And one of the things that Nick really brings to the church is a DNA for the Church Unleashed, which came out of Frank Tillapa and Bear Valley Church. It's the idea that church members all have gifts, passions, and strengths that are just waiting to be unleashed into the community. And so Nick has a big heart for finding ways that the church can serve the community and interact with the community. So that's just part of who we are as a church congregation.
Dave Runyon and I work with the Arvada Church Network. Back in 2006, a number of pastors started gathering here in Arvada, and we started meeting together and just dreaming about how can we serve our city and our community together. So we try to identify where is the real brokenness in our community, and if we were going to mobilize the volunteers that show up in all of our churches, what's the smartest thing that we could point them towards and work on together. So we try to do a few things well, and we try to do things over a long period of time. So we've done a lot of stuff with the schools, with foster care, and with neighboring over the last 10 years.
The pastors in the church network came to meet the leadership team here at Human Services a few years ago just to understand better what human services is really all about. We really didn't know. And that connection led to a relationship. And really, I think the key epiphany for us was if you really want to do something meaningful, you need to partner with the professionals that really know how to make positive change happen in the community.
JPP was kind of in its infancy, and JPP, in case, is Jefferson County Prosperity Project, and we kind of fell in love with their mission. Families from Head Start enter into JPP and stay with them with the goal of breaking the cycle of generational poverty. And JPP works with those families for as long as they want, up to when their last child graduates high school. So we love the long-term relational aspect of their mission. They were just getting started and were open to working with a church, which we were really excited about.
We had a group of children. They were under the age of 11 and under, and we had them collect books, and we took them to Human Services and donated those books so that those who were in the waiting room, who have children, nothing to do, could look at those books. I think some were able to take books home. But even our children can be involved.
We were walking by the long hallway, and there was a long string down the hallway, and all these t-shirts and onesies were hanging off of the string. And come to find out, it was Child Abuse Awareness Month. And each of those t-shirts and onesies were either red or white. And as you begin to walk down the hall and look more closely, you realize that the t-shirts that were white were kids who had been abused or neglected in Jefferson County and had lived. And the t-shirts that were red were kids who had been abused and neglected in Jefferson County and had died. And honestly, it wrecked all three of us. It was this very emotional, eye-opening awareness, I think, that this was going on in our backyard, and that if that kind of thing was happening in our county, we as a church couldn't stand aside and not do something.
I first started working with the county mostly around adoption and foster care. There were a couple of women here in Arvada that had a huge heart to make a difference for kids and for potential adoptive families. And they started two organizations. One was called Packs of Hope, which was going out and really providing for the needs of foster care kids while they're in transition. And the other one was Portraits of Hope. And they went around to churches and told the stories of kids who were in the adoption system and challenged the people in those churches to think about adoption and foster care. So both those organizations were really my entry point into working with the county.
After we finished one of the last park builds that we did, our Commissioner Don Roger came to me and said, because of the donation of the people who were able to work, do the planting, preparing, moving rocks and mulch and whatever else, that we were able to save the community $20,000. And we have been involved in, we will be doing our 5th park build this year, this spring. And I know down in the Columbine area, they've been involved in 5. So that's a significant savings, financial savings.
Community is maybe a buzzword, but it's also so important. And I think it's something that it's really easy to focus in on your life and your hardships and your struggle and to lose community. And I think we were built for community. I think community was built into us as a heart's desire of all of us as human beings. And so I think for us, it's a huge part of our mission at Fringe is to be in the community, to help others find their community and find where they belong. I think we're just better humans when we're connecting with each other, learning from each other, and working to be out in the community, helping others do the same.
The story that is spun in our country today is nothing good is happening, and that's just not true. And so I think that change is possible. Sustainable, positive change that really makes a difference is possible. I think that only through partnership is that possible. No one entity by themselves, whether it's government or church or school, no one entity that wants to do good can succeed by themselves. Our country was built on that collaborative neighbor partnership mindset, and we're just helping restore that here in Jefferson County. There's a great desire and spirit to partner and work together here, and we're just helping capitalize on what's really going on in a lot of different venues at the same time.
The issues that we're facing are so massive. They're really, really complex. The only way that we're going to make a difference is if we work together. And so I believe that the people on the county side, they have the vision. They know where the real brokenness is in our community. Those of us on the faith side, we're sitting on the sleeping giant of volunteerism. So the number of people that are sitting in our congregations and our churches every single week, they all have a call to serve and to make a difference. And so when you can marry these two, when you can bring the county leaders and then faith leaders together, you can really do some damage.
It's fun. It's really fun to partner. It's fun to see positive things happen. It's more fun to be you when you're connecting with people and working together to solve or to enjoy our community. This is a great community, and it's fun when you do it with others. It's not fun when you're all by yourself or you're under the idea that nothing's ever going to get better. That's just not true. But we need each other, and when we are together and when we demonstrate that need, good things happen.
Just to realize, hey, we may have some differences from the county, we may see things through a different lens, But one thing we're both passionate about is our community and caring for those who are in need or who are suffering or who are living in poverty, whatever those different aspects may be. And if we can focus on what we have in common, it's really powerful for us to work together.
I think building the relationships and being intentional, looking for what's going on in your community already and joining in with that. I don't think we need to start new things. I think there's so much going on. We just need to partner together better and join in where things are happening.
There's so many needs in our neighborhoods, in our community. Sometimes we want to take trips and go to Africa or someplace else, but there are needs right here that can be done individually, as a single person, or as a group, youth, whatever.
The best place to start is by simply getting to know the people who work at the county. You know, who are the people that are working with adoption and foster care? Who's going out and working with at-risk kids that are struggling with literacy? Who are the people that are going out and working with the elderly? So I would just say this, go meet the people who are working for the county, get to know them and ask the right questions, get to know their heart, and you'll get to know your community.
One of the practical ways we get our community members connected or our congregants connected with what's going on at the county is they go through this Justice in Action class, and part of the class is going on a tour of the county. And so they do that on a Saturday morning. It's amazing to us over and over again that all of the head staff, Lynn included, come over on their day off and they give a tour to 15, 20 congregants from the church that really want to learn more about the county. That's not just something that we as a church are able to do, that's open to anybody. And I think when people take the time to go and learn about the county, learn about the needs, learn about all of the incredible things that are happening, it really gives you a passion for wanting to get involved, and it helps you recognize what spaces your church or your community organization may be able to partner.
The thing that I'd say about partnerships is that there's a lot of power. There's a lot of power. The sum is always greater than the parts. And so if we can begin to join hands and work together on behalf of the people in need in our community, really good things will happen, and we'll have a lot less people falling through the cracks.
The biggest advice is just to give something a try. I think sometimes we're afraid of what we don't know, and for us, just giving it a try and getting to know people really made a difference. I think when we show up and work together, county and faith communities, we build relationships with one another just like we do when we're working within the church. And so I just have found that I have really great friends now that work at the county, and we're able to rely on one another. We can really trust one another. We've taken time to build that relationship. And so I think, my advice is to really take the time to do that, to invite somebody to coffee or go and tour their place of work, or take a risk to begin to develop those relationships.
Start where you are. Start where you're planted. Get to know anybody in your community that is involved with children or families, and that's the easiest place to start. Don't start with the huge problems that are difficult. Start with those easy things. Almost anybody can mentor a child with their math or their reading homework after school. You can't believe what that small effort will do to change the world. When you change the life of a kid, you change the future. You open up possibilities. It's really fun to do that, to touch a human life and to know that a small contribution makes a big difference.
So look for opportunities. I think the biggest thing is looking outside of the box. It isn't just a food kitchen. It isn't just collecting cans for the Action Center. There's so many more kinds of activities that we can be involved in all the time.